2020 was wild.
Yeah.
Not enough houses, lots of buyers, low interest rate, competitive offers. If I had more houses, if y'all had more houses, we would have sold more.
Yeah.
So, and I think 2021 is going to still have a lack of inventory.
So again, I'm here with Amy Hudson. If y'all have been following since day one, she is part of one of my first now. You're actually the first to come back that I've had on before.
It was like 2 years ago, wasn't it?
I think it was about October of last year, maybe. I don't know. October, was that last year or 2000? No, it was 2019.
Okay.
Yeah. So I think we've come a long way. It just from where we were in the other office.
Your studio looks so much more professional here. Yeah, it looks great.
Cool, thank you.
Yeah.
Well, we've tried hard, we've invested a lot, we've debated a lot, and hopefully we've got something now. We're still trying to figure it out, but we've taken examples from other people and tried to make it ours and try to figure this thing out. So we appreciate your time.
Well, thank you for having me.
Yep. So let's just get right into it. What do you State of the Union for RE/MAX 8? How do you see real estate coming up in 2021, and how was your 2020?
2020 was wild.
Yeah.
Not enough houses, lots of buyers, low interest rate, competitive offers. If I had more houses, if y'all had more houses, we would have sold more.
Yeah.
So, and I think 2021 is going to still have a lack of inventory. It's just, we didn't build houses in 2008, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. It's 2014 before we started building inventory again.
Yeah.
And prior to the recession, there were small builders that could go and get a loan and buy a little house and an infill lot here and there. That didn't happen after we came out of the recession. All we had was really, if there were any big tract builders that bought the whole subdivision, which there's a few of those, but they sold out pretty quickly.
Yeah.
And there just wasn't a lot of infrastructure put in, and we're playing catch up on it now.
So you think it goes even back to 2008 when the real estate market tanked and no one was building anymore, that those stats are showing up today?
Yes. Yeah. That because we weren't building, because the millennials were graduating from college, they were 22, 24, they were going back home and they were living at home. So basically the household was doubled up. And as we came out of the recession, the millennials got older, they got some jobs, they wanted to move out and get a house. So that home, which had the nuclear family in it, now became two homes. But mom and dad didn't move. These guys had to go find another house. Well, where are they going to go? They're just, so where families were doubled up during the recession, and then the millennials got older, went on their own. Now they're 32, 34. They want to buy a house. They have, a kid and a dog.
Yeah.
And they want to buy a house at 2.75% interest rate.
Yeah.
And I don't blame them. They should.
No doubt. All right, I would predict that maybe a little bit of the same is about to happen. There's fear in the market. It might not be a real estate bubble, but it might be some other thing. The uncertainty of COVID, might have these kids sheltering in place, when they finish up with their schooling and not want to, get out in the world or, move away from home and take a job hundreds of miles away.
Well, they can work remotely. So that's actually going to help our industry.
Gotcha.
Because especially I think in the New River Valley, because Virginia Tech's here, Radford's here, lots of people went to school here, then they moved to Northern Virginia,
right,
where they were in the rat race and they had an hour commute to get to their job, and they now they learn they can work from home.
Right. So that gives them an opportunity to stick around here if they like it.
They move back here.
Yeah.
They can move back here, back to where it was easier for, the $500,000, $600,000 you paid for a little tiny condo in Northern Virginia somewhere, or even more.
Yeah.
You can buy a whole house here. The school systems are good here. Life is just a whole lot easier. So I see the New River Valley being able to absorb those people that want to get out of Northern Virginia, but still work for companies in Northern Virginia, and know that if you have to go to the office, it's a 4-hour drive. You can do that.
Yeah.
Or you can take the train.
Yeah.
You can go down to Roanoke, and soon, hopefully,
feels like this is becoming a little bit of a hub, a little bit of a satellite for Nova Do you agree with that? I mean, do you see companies up there, like, they're trying to get Virginia Tech to develop curriculum, and I mean, you see big players, big industry, big tech companies kind of setting up shop in Blacksburg, don't we?
We see Virginia Tech wanting to supply students to these big companies, i.e. Amazon.
Right.
Yeah. And Pamplin, the business school, has a lot of that in their future designs.
So you think that's going to enhance the opportunities that people here in the New River Valley have to stick around?
Well, I think you're going to see people who graduated from Virginia Tech coming back here because they can work for their other companies remotely and still live here.
Right.
In an easy place to live and raise their kids.
Gotcha.
So
yeah, I agree with that. I'm always hopeful for that. Anyway, I don't want people leaving our area. I want all the talent to not have to feel like that they need to leave. That's one of the reasons why, we discussed this. That's one of the reasons why I got into real estate, is because I thought that there was no income cap. There was no ceiling to my income potential. I could be around the people that I love, that I grew up with, and the community that I'm fond of, and really create a life here. So that's given a lot more people that opportunity to do the same things I was able to do, or still trying to do, because I'm not all the way to the goal yet. But,
then you just set another goal.
You just set another goal, right? Exactly. Yeah. So that's encouraging. I mean, there are some positive things. There's some positive things that have come because of COVID, in my opinion. I feel like evolution, like electronic recordings. How many title companies were pushing back on diving into online electronic recordings? A bunch. And then as soon as that hit and the courts were like, you can't show up here, they were all in on it.
Yeah, it did. It forced a lot of change that people weren't ready to face until they had to have it. And then they're like, how did we do this without it?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, I'm that type of guy too, is like, I'm trying to pull positive out of every situation. I think that has to be a personality trait of most people that get into the real estate business, isn't it?
Pulling positive out of every situation?
Yeah, so there's so much turbulence and turmoil and emotion in the real estate business.
In the real estate business, you spend your time fixing problems to get people to the end to what their goal is, and their goal is a successful real estate transaction. So your job is to fix all the little pieces of the puzzle that come along to get the complete picture, which is the closing. Yeah. A happy closing.
Yeah. There's some moments that, there's just going to be someone that you can't make happy in this business.
There are. Sometimes it's the personality type, and sometimes it's just the situation. There are things that you, as the realtor, can't control.
Yeah.
It's not your fault that there was termites and $5,000 of termite damage, and there's things that you have to be the messenger of. And it's not your fault, but it does make someone unhappy.
Yeah.
And it's not your fault.
Yeah. And the way people are sometimes is they're going to take it out on you, even though it's not about you, even though it's not your fault.
No, but you just, hold your head high.
Yeah.
Do the right thing. Get it to closing. Do the best you can.
Yeah.
And on to the next one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just closed one today that, I'm really proud of. That's my 81st closing of the year.
Good. Good number.
Yeah, it is. We're really proud of that. And I just want to let you know. I mean, I've told you this before, but I want people that are watching to really know that the freedoms that you've given me and the encouragement and guidance that you were willing to give me has made all the impact. I mean, it really has.
Thank you. I appreciate that. That actually, on your list of questions here, you talk about what is success in the real estate world.
Yeah.
Well, RE/MAX 8's motto is that we're here to provide the foundation for your real estate success.
Yeah.
And your real estate success is determined by you. You know, whether it's selling 20 houses a year and making enough money to take your family on European vacations or do what you want to do. If that's what your goal is and you can achieve that, I want to provide that foundation at RE/MAX 8 for you to do that. Or if you want to sell 100 houses, I want to be able to provide that foundation for you. But it's not only you selling. When I say your real estate success at RE/MAX 8, it's not just people selling. What if your goal is to be the best real estate photographer in the New River Valley, to be the best real estate closing coordinator in the New River Valley, the customer service representative? There are other parts of the business, not just the sales, that we have people at RE/MAX 8 that are, enjoying and doing and achieving their description of success. So
yeah, I agree with that for sure. I think that I want to encourage anybody that's considering a career in this field to come talk to us. I mean, I really feel like this company is at the forefront of everything that's going to happen in the real estate in the future. Like, the level of experience you have within your brokerage is, I don't think, can be compared. I don't think the level of commitment, the level of care that is put into this business can be matched at any other company.
Well, I appreciate that. I mean, I've been in the trenches for 26 years, and I also follow all of the national news and trends. So I want to stay abreast of what's coming down the pipeline, what things are going to change, what new technologies do we need to be looking at? What's happening with iBuyers, and is that going to affect us? Yeah, just staying on top of it so that you don't get blindsided by a change in the industry.
Yeah,
and some of the other companies probably aren't paying attention to that. So.
Yeah. See, there's something to this thing about being one step ahead. Being one step ahead is all you've got to be. If you're 5 steps ahead, then you might not get the traction, or like people might not understand you if you're that far ahead.
Tell me about it. Way back when texting was first just getting going, I spent a ton of money on those little signs that went on all the listings that said text to this number and the information will come to your phone.
Yeah.
Well, nobody did it.
Yeah.
I mean, but that was probably 2002.
Yeah.
It just people. It didn't make sense.
So today, they would prefer to do that than actually have to talk to somebody.
Probably.
Yeah.
Yeah. But still, talking to people is really important.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah, people get really frustrated when they're trying to get an answer right away and they can't get it.
Yeah.
So.
And I built the majority of my business, as you know, actually calling people that didn't sell their property. Like physically talking to them. Some of my biggest scores have been cold calling expired listings.
Right.
So, if I was to text those people, they might not have responded.
Right.
But hearing my voice and understanding the passion that I had behind this business and how I could help them, I think that was a key factor in me building, a business that could hold, 80 transactions a year, or more. So yeah, I mean, I just feel like this has been so rewarding for me and like what I've been able to achieve. And I just continuously give you credit for that. Mm-hmm. And I want others to know that. I want others to know that.
You work hard, Scott. You
Yeah.
do. You work a lot of hours.
Yeah.
And you follow your plan. Yeah. You put your time in doing your prospecting. Other people think the phone's just going to ring. You send out one mailer and the phone's going to ring. That doesn't work like that.
Yeah.
You got to keep prospecting.
And really where I made big leaps in my business was when I understood the data. Like, not even understood it when I got the data. So once I realized that it was 40 conversations per one transaction, then it became scalable. Then I could track it. Once I knew that if I didn't follow up with a lead within 5 minutes, that I was going to lose them.
Right.
Once I understood all that data, I was really able to go after it. I really started like being a student of this game, And when I say the game, the real estate for me is like the ultimate competition, as you know. Like I want the stats every month. I want to know what everybody else is doing. I want to be informed of like who's coming. I want to know who's doing what and how they're doing, just so I can kind of gauge where I am. It's a competitive. This is my only last competitive outlet. I didn't do well at golf. I wasn't fast enough to play basketball. So here I am in real estate competing. That's how I see it. How do you go about things like that? Are you that competitive, or were you just blind to whatever life you wanted? Were you just blind to it all?
I think as I've gotten older, it's become more of I'm doing this because this is where I'm going with my life, and this is what I want to provide for my family and those around me, which are the people that work at RE/MAX 8. But before, when I was in my 20s and 30s, it was probably more of a numbers game.
Yeah.
It just changes with maturity. Now it's more about succeeding and to provide for everyone around me, and I know that success is going to come because I'm doing the right thing for everybody around me.
Yeah.
So the foundation's there.
Yeah. Yeah. I can see, as time goes by, I think the founder of RE/MAX said at the beginning he hated all of his competition, but then became friends with his competition as he grew older, and he kind of mellowed out a little bit, I think.
Well, you have a respect for them. They're trying to do their thing and take care of theirs, and there's enough business out there.
Oh yeah, that's
for those that want to work.
Yeah, let's just throw some stats at them there since we brought that up. People think that when they come to RE/MAX, they're going to have to compete with us. Maybe they think that maybe they would think that you doing 130 deals a year might mean that they get a couple less, but I don't think so. I think when you look at the ultimate number, the person that we're actually competing with is that non-MLS agent, right?
Really?
The non-MLS agent feels to me like the one that we have to trim into when they're getting $40 million of sales volume and 250 deals in this year. That's what the numbers are.
Oh, I believe
over
you.
40 million. There's no competition between me and you. There's no competition between me and the agents in the office, or even the agents at the other firms, when the number one agent in our association is non-MLS agent.
Yeah.
You know?
That's the other 42,000 realtors across the state of Virginia that are licensed to sell in Virginia that know somebody in Blacksburg, and they just come here and write a contract.
Yeah.
And when they're not part of our MLS, you don't have to pay them a commission.
Yeah.
But because the commission is only for those that are participants in the MLS. But still, what are you going? It's in your seller's best interest to entertain offers from everyone.
Sure. Yeah. And I would want to be treated with that respect and gratitude as well if I'm going outside of the association. I just don't think going outside of my extended network is fiduciary to my client.
No, that's correct. It's actually a violation of your code of ethics for you to try to work with someone or represent a property that's out of your area of expertise.
Yeah.
It's a code of ethics violation. You are not doing the service to your client if you're trying to work with them in an area that you're not knowledgeable in.
I mean, even northeast, past northeast Roanoke, I would be referring to Botetourt. I would not go as far. If I don't subscribe to your MLS, then I feel morally wrong to go into other MLSs that I'm not a part of and try to do business there. How can you claim expert status when you don't have all the information? Right?
How can you claim you know a neighborhood when you've never been in it?
Exactly.
You have to use your GPS to get there,
and
you get lost.
Yeah.
That's always a good one.
Right.
Wait a minute, the realtor got lost.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I agree with that. I feel like I'm willing to travel about an hour away from Blacksburg. You know, if I got to go one way for an hour for somebody that wants my service, you know, I'm subscribed to all the local MLSs. I feel confident. But if it goes beyond that, then I just refer it out to the people that I trust in these locations. I think more people should do that, and I think that you know, we should do a better job with them. I mean, if people knew who we were, if more people knew who we were, they wouldn't be going outside of our area to somebody that they do know, right? Like a marketing.
I don't think it's that they're going out of the area to somebody that they do know. They have a relationship with a realtor in a different area, whether it's a family member or their best friend or whatever.
Yeah.
And that realtor is doing their friend a disservice by saying, well, I can represent you in Blacksburg in a competing situation. No, you can't. Wait a minute. How can you even get down here and show the house or even video the house or do anything and know about the neighborhood when you're in Northern Virginia? And from when I put it in the MLS to the next 24 hours, I've got 8 offers. There's no way you can actually compete when you're in Northern Virginia.
Yeah.
At least just.
I mean, I don't think you could compete if you were in Bristol. If you were in Southwest Virginia and you weren't a part of the New River Valley Association, how could you come in here and think that you would be able to fully educate your buyer to the severity of the situation? You know, like that. You know, I just don't see it being workable. You agree?
I agree. I've told agents from other areas when they call and they say, "Oh, I'm representing my friend and they want to buy a townhouse in Blacksburg for their student." I'm just like, "Good luck with that.
Yeah,
it's going to be really hard for you when you're not here."
Yeah,
so
definitely. All right, so new agent contacts you. They want to come in, and they want you to tell them what to expect in the first year. What would you think's reasonable for the first 12 months?
For a new agent's production?
Brand new agent's production. Yeah, they've never been in the business before. They've come to you. Y'all have decided that we're going to work together. What do you think should be like the minimum they would be able to do?
1 a month. 12.
1 a month. Yeah.
And then second year, 2 a month.
Yeah.
24. Then the third year, if you can get up to 3 a month, 36 units, you're making a decent living.
Yeah.
But it's going to take that long. I mean, every so often you see someone get in and they'll do 20-something in their first year.
Yeah.
But if someone comes in 1 a month, they do the things we tell them to do by building their database, contacting their contacts, constantly touching them, and then coming up with a marketing plan, sticking to the marketing plan. You know, a lot of agents do a postcard mailing over here to this subdivision. They do something over here, then they spend some money over here, and it's not consistent. Woo! you gotta make sure it's consistent.
Yeah, so. I mean, I feel like for me, bringing someone on my team with everything that, you know, I can probably count 20 deals that we just didn't get to fast enough.
Yeah.
And if I had somebody that would equal far. So yeah, we're talking about 2 different people. We're talking about someone that's going to get in
and do their own thing versus someone who's going to get in and be a team member.
Yeah.
So you have the mechanism in place to create a lot of leads.
Yeah.
More leads than you have time to follow up with fast enough.
Tragedy.
I know. And because there's only one you, and you can't answer the phone 24/7. And when you're talking to somebody and that other call comes in, did it again. You know, you can't be rude and say, "Oh, I got to get this other call. It might be a lead." You know, you can't do that.
Yeah.
It's just there's one mouth. That's all you can do.
Yeah.
But to have another person where you can get that call to them, or 2 o'clock on Tuesday, and this person wants to see, and this person wants to see over there, to have someone that you can feed those leads to, which is how I started my team.
Yeah.
You know, it's just when I got to the point where I was generating more than I could follow up and service, then I needed that person that would help service the clients.
Yeah.
And that's the next step.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you definitely got the model. I mean, we're trying to implement the same strategy as you've put into place. It's a proven model. You know, it's a proven model. It's a model that's being taught. It's a model that a lot of the big players that have achieved big success are doing.
Yeah.
So I've never wanted to reinvent the wheel.
I've never either.
I'm clearly not smart enough to reinvent the wheel. So I'm just trying to take what I like of it and like make it mine.
I say the same thing. I've always go to conventions and take classes, and I learn something that someone's doing somewhere else. I take that idea and I bring it here. Maybe I have to tweak it a little bit to get a little New River Valley spin on it.
Yeah.
But it's always been using an idea from somewhere else that just gets tweaked to fit here.
Yeah. You've always been the encourager of get out of the area and go learn some things and bring them back and do the way that you want. That's how you brought the moving truck into town.
Yeah, I think it was 1999 when I got my first moving van.
Yeah.
I was also the first one to have virtual tours. That was somewhere around 99 or 2000. And back then there was no one around here that had the fisheye lens camera. So I had to use a company out of North Carolina. And I would pay this person to come here just to make the virtual tours of my listings to put on the internet. And the agents around here, the older agents, which now most of them are no longer in business, oh, man, she's doing that. Now we're going to have to start paying for that, too. Yeah, but it's crazy how it's changed because now you can pretty much do it all yourself. And
if you got the iPhone, you can do a Matterport 3D on your iPhone now.
I have the iPhone 12 Pro. Yeah,
you can put it on the tripod, or not even on a tripod. You can just hold it in your hand and just do circles.
Yeah.
Walk 4 feet, do circles.
Spinning around in circles.
Yeah. That's crazy though, the technology advancements and.
Yeah, it changes so fast. It really does. Yeah. And so what I would tell a new agent is don't get analysis paralysis and not do something. Pick one technology, pick one thing, use it, put it to work, and maybe you use it for 2 years or 3 years, and then it becomes outdated. But that's the nature of the business. But you have to have it. You can't. If you don't make a decision, you don't get anywhere. So just pick one. It's like when they come to me and say, "Well, which CRM should I use?" Just pick one. Yeah. There's a whole bunch of them out there. They've been proven. You just pick one and use it. Because in 2 years from now, it's going to be obsolete, or they're going to have upgraded it.
Yeah,
it's
they're forever changing.
It is, and I think agents get stuck trying to say, "Oh, what's the best postcard to send?" Just pick one. Yeah, there's 5 different sites that are affiliated with RE/MAX that you can go in, design your card, and hit the print button, put in your credit card number, and off it goes.
So let's do the math real quick. If they did 12 deals, right? If a new agent did 12 deals, what do you call a brand new agent? Probably average sales price
$200.
You think they would, as a new agent, or you think it'd be a little less? I think it'd be a little. I mean, are they going to be getting $400,000 deals? They're certainly going to be getting like $80,000 deals, right?
They will be on the lower end. So make it 175. Average
okay, 175 average. And we're calling it 12 deals, right? So that's 2.1 million in sales volume times 0.03, which is going to be your gross. You're going to, in your first year on 12 units at $175,000, you're going to gross $63,000 in your first year.
Yeah, but
taxes and expense.
You got to take out taxes.
We're going to call that you've probably spent at least 30% of that on your tax liability and your expenses.
Yeah.
Okay. Right.
Yeah.
So let's just take
or more.
I tell
them to put 25% of everything they make into a savings account and just put it aside.
Gotcha.
So that they have that to pay their taxes, and then run your business and your personal life on the 75% that's left.
Yeah.
That way, when you get to tax time the next year, you're not going, "Oh crap, I didn't save enough."
So, what percentage do you think that they would be putting out to get their CRM, to get to get all the tools that they need?
In RE/MAX, though, you can use Boosh.
Yeah.
You have it built right into RE/MAX. All your design center stuff is all in there.
Yeah.
I mean, it's pretty turnkey. You can make your own website. All that is done in Boosh, so you don't have to pay another provider for that. You can do it.
Yeah.
You just have to learn how to use the tools at RE/MAX.
So I think it would be safe to tell them that they would be netting around probably 30.
Yeah.
If they made 63, net in their pocket,
A-
spendable.
After, if you really sit down and look at it, what'd you spend in gas and car maintenance and cell phone bill?
Cost of being in business.
It's cost of being in business, yeah.
Yeah. So tax liability plus cost of being in the business. If you made 63 in your first 12 months, you're going to take home 30 that you can spend.
Yeah.
Pretty safe?
Yep.
Okay.
The catch is though the next year, if you sell 12 more, your base expenses are still going to stay close to the same.
Yeah.
So you're going to have another $60,000 in income, but your expenses won't be an additional $30,000 on top of it. So it's the numbers. The
Right.
more you do, but your fixed expenses stay the same, the more you make.
Yeah. I think my problem has been is that I want to keep adding on tools.
You keep spending shiny little toys
like this
these.
stuff.
Oh, like I did it again.
I mean, I am all in to freedom. That's all I care about. I'll spend and spend and spend until I get across the finish line of freedom. That's it. Like that's for me. Like, I don't have
What
it,
do you consider freedom?
a sustainable, predictable business that's bringing in probably over $1 million gross. So once we get there, then I can start looking at how much did I have to spend to get there, because I'm all top line focused right now. So when I get to the top line goal, I can see what's at the bottom line at that point. I mean, I've got my eye
but
on
you
it.
have to sit back sometimes and say, well, I'm spending. Take your credit card and look.
Oh,
at
I do all of my numbers. This year specifically, we've gotten really good on like where the money's going, how much I'm spending, how much we're making. Like we're starting to get bottom line focused. But for the last 5 years, it's just get big. It's just focus top line revenue, get big, figure out the problems with getting big, try to identify those and get better at the problems that we have, or fill in someone that can take care of those problems. So leveraging people, getting to the top line goal, and then figuring out where the net money is. So that has been the strategy. That's kind of a gunslinger mentality, but yeah, that's been how we've done it. Is we've just been willing to risk it all, And at some point in this business, you do risk it all. I mean,
you're on commission.
Yeah. I mean, you're a good example of someone that was willing to risk it all. I mean, look at what you've been able to achieve. The building over there, the getting through the tough times in 08, 09, like you having to deal with all that.
That was tough.
Yeah. I mean,
I told that land, I bought it in 2007 where the building is.
Right.
And I had planned to build the building in 2008.
And you were expanding. You were actually expanding branches and taking up space in Christiansburg and things like that.
We tried that too. Yeah. But the recession was tough.
Yeah. So you had to do what you had to do to survive, and now look at. I've done a lot of hard work. I probably don't give myself enough credit for. I think probably. I feel the same about you. What you've been able to achieve, like you should be proud of that.
I am proud of it.
Yeah.
I am. And I'm proud to have all of the people that are working for me, whether they're agents or whether they're my staff.
Yeah.
I want to provide a good place for them to be.
Yeah. Well, you
that
definitely
they can
have.
succeed.
I feel like I said, we'll just kind of. This is the summary of this story. Is I feel like people that want to think, if you think that you want a life in real estate, then we got to talk to you. Like we gotta at least sit down with you and see if it's a fit in some way.
Real estate's one of those things. You get in and probably in the first 2 months whether it's something you really like and you're going to roll with it and it's going to become your life and you're going to enjoy it and you'll be successful, or whether it doesn't fit for you. And I've had a lot of people come and they get their license and they work for a week or two and they're like, this is just not me. Yeah. And one of the things I have done with people that want to get in is say, okay, well, come follow me on some appointments for a few days. Look what I do. Come listen, sit at the office, listen to what's going on, and see if you even like the environment. Because there's some people, especially those that are a little more introverted, that are like, whoa, this is way too much talking for me.
Right. Scott, you got anything? Any questions? What's the runtime here we got right now?
No, we've been going on about 30 minutes, and we've got some feedback from Kaylee and Kelsey. So people are just saying like, oh yeah, just pick up the phone and hit the streets. Mail can't move as fast as you can for local marketing.
Well, I mean, Facebook. This Facebook stuff is really powerful. I mean, the amount of reach we'll get just from doing this, we'll be able to hit 300, 400 people. This is the best door knocking you can do. If you want to blanket an area, this is the fastest way to it. So I would encourage you to do a little bit more.
Yeah, I know.
That.
That actually is on my to-do list for 2021.
Yeah.
And to put more personal things about me. I've been very private. I
Yeah.
don't post a lot of things, what I do with my family or where I go.
Yeah.
And I made myself a promise that I would share more of my personality, my me, Amy,
Yeah.
on Facebook at least to start with.
What I want to have at some point is someone actually following me around with the camera on. Like that's what I want eventually. And you should do some stuff like that, like little clips. Like if you're in an appointment or you're in a staff meeting or something, you ought to have somebody with the phone on just to capture. Like there's probably one great moment in every meeting that you have, and if it was captured and the public seen that moment, it would be a big impact. It would be a major impact.
I don't think I want somebody following me around with the camera.
Yeah.
Although I will tell you, this weekend on Saturday, I had this epiphany about student housing and showing people that Blacksburg has really changed because a lot of people haven't been here in a year with COVID and all of the new student housing that is underway. So I got in my car and I drove around and I made a little video montage of all of the different places that are under construction. I'll send it to you.
Yeah, send it to me.
It's pretty good. It's pretty impressive because Blacksburg, there's places it doesn't look like Blacksburg anymore.
Yeah.
So
Do you have a TikTok account yet?
no, I got a TikTok ring though. I got one of those lights.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, here's the game: is attention. Attention is our game. We're salespeople. We're trying to have people understand what we do, who we are, and be a source of value to the people. And wherever the attention goes, we've got to go. Unfortunately for us,
Attention.
it doesn't. We just got to follow where they go. We got to be where the attention is to survive, to remain that one step ahead. Right? If it's to be that one step ahead, we got to be there when we need to be one step ahead. We can't be a couple steps behind.
No.
Right? So I would tell you to you got so many people on staff. Hey, create me a TikTok account, see what's trending, see if you can create content around. That's what I'm trying to get these guys to do. We're debating it. We're trying to get that to that's our plan for 2021 is to be in the moment, figuring out all right, this is what's trending. These are the shots we need. Let's see if we can't get those organically type thing and then put the content out there. So that's our strategy, and I'm willing to share that with anybody and everybody, especially you, because I need you to be a step ahead of everybody too.
Scott,
So, yeah.
Speaking of how many employees Amy has, you might want to ask her how she gets agents and how she manages to keep them, right?
Well, I think we discussed that. I mean, she's built. All right, so let's just ask that question. Are you mic'd up or no?
Oh, I'm not mic'd up.
Okay. So the question is, how do you go about your recruiting strategy to get people in the door, and what are you trying to do? Or what do you think your company provides to retain the people that stay? And I think I've hit on the freedom that you supply. The Scott Bunn division would not be here if you didn't allow me to take this space and
Well, be creative in how you want to grow your own business.
yeah.
But I'm still behind you when you have questions and there to answer and guide.
Pretty much the most important thing is that you're beside me if something goes wrong.
Yeah.
If you need to fight, you need to fight on my behalf. You're willing to do that, if you need to,
I'm going to train you not to make mistakes so we don't have to have things go wrong.
exactly.
Right.
But even if I'm doing something, like I'm not coming to you to ask for permission for everything that I do, too.
No.
So if I go off the path, and there's a moment that you need to be like concerned for me or try to get me
I
back
call
on.
you.
Yep. And we debate that. And even if you don't necessarily agree with me all the time, you've still, if I'm right, if I'm in the right, even though you don't agree with maybe something that I've said or done, you still support the things that I said and that I'm doing because you allow freedom. That's it. That for me is the biggest thing, is you've let me grow the way that I've wanted to grow and take the risk on that I wanted to take.
Yep, you will grow your business around you, your personality, and the direction that you're going. You go in sometimes directions that I wouldn't go.
Yeah.
But it works for you. It wouldn't work for me.
Yeah.
But that's one of the the beautiful things about real estate is there's so many different directions and so many different tools you can use to have success.
Yeah.
And it's not one cookie cutter recipe.
I think the people that will find major success in this business is when they accept and love who they are, and they're willing to be that in public.
Well, that's true. The public knows when you're not yourself.
Yeah. So you saying you would not do some of the things that I would do, it's because that's not you.
It's not my personality.
You do the things you do, and that allows you to be successful in your way. I do the things that I do in my way. You allow that to happen. That's the biggest part about it, is you give the freedom. You're not worried about it unless I'm not following the rules. If I'm following the rules and I'm above board in the things that I'm doing, you're all about the freedom to do it. So that would be my answer for you is, in my experience, you've allowed for that freedom to happen. So that's my take on it anyway. Anything else?
I think we're all set.
Sounds good. Well, thank you for
All
having
right,
me.
no problem. Thanks for being here, and we'll be back next week. It'll just be me solo next week. We've got like 160 subscribers now. That's not a big number, but it's better than nothing. It's not zero. So we feel like we're getting a lot of like people that are engaging with us. Like we could get 1 million subscribers, but they're not engaging with us. The 160 that are involved now, like we're really proud of that, even though that's like not a big number, but.
It will grow over time.
But thanks for your time. I really appreciate that.
Thank you.
And
Happy
we'll have
Christmas.
you. Merry Christmas. We'll have you back another time.
2021?
Yeah, sometime in 2021. Yeah.
Another good year.
Yeah. See you guys later. Merry Christmas.